Hey friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Gracelyn Sorrell, and today I'm addressing something that is kind of long overdue. I've addressed it before on my channel, but this time I want to get deeper into the nitty-gritty of it all because people still have questions about my dating life and what that looks like, what it means when I say I'm not dating, and how it looks as a purity advocate and how I respond to guys when they try to shoot their shot, like all these things. So we're just gonna address it all in this video. I'm just gonna speak off the top of my head and try to address everything that I can remember. So here we go. Okay, hold on, let me turn my AC off real quick because it's a little loud. All right, so I'll start off by saying this. A huge part of wisdom is knowing what you can and cannot take. So, we have self-control. It's one of the fruits of the spirit. And as we keep on living, as we keep on breathing and living this life day to day, I have to be aware of things that I might lack control in more than others. And so for me, when I was younger, like growing up as a teenager, I used to have a lot of makeout sessions. I was just out here, okay, in cars, just doing it. And you guys know this, like I've told you guys before, like about my story, and half of the people that I actually dated in the past, they all have babies now. And it's just like, ooh, okay, God, I'm like seeing the signs. I'm not ignoring the signs. Now, mind you, I didn't necessarily live a Christian lifestyle when I was dating these guys. However, it's still an aspect of, okay, like, am I ready to put myself in positions where I know a guy can be attracted to me and I'm attracted to him? And can we have like normal conversation? Can it just be friendship? Can it be platonic? Like, can we be normal around each other and not be awkward or like weird? Like, can we really cultivate true relationship and friendship versus like, are you my husband? Are you my wife? It's just like, can we be chill? And so one reason why I don't date is because I want it to be so organic that it doesn't feel like, okay, let me test this out. Like, let me see, like what the qualities are, like this and that. And so I understand that people's argument is, how are you going to know that it's your husband if you don't date him? And my answer to that is I don't date around. So I only date people who have actual potential, and no guys have really had potential. It's so funny, like, and I'm not saying that because I'm like on some pedestal that guys can't reach or anything. It's literally just that I know what I want, I know what I need, I know what I'm looking for, I know what God wants for me, and that just literally has not come across my path yet. Now, I'm not the type of person that will just shut people off. I've had many conversations with many guys. I have, said hello back if somebody said, hey, do you want to go out and get, something to eat? Like, do you want to go out and get some coffee, whatever? And I don't just ignore people. Like, I'm a human. Yes, sometimes the block button is strong, but like, it's also that discernment that you have to use to see if, okay, is this person really being, real? Like, do they have good intentions? Like, you have to scope it out. And so the way I scope it out is I go look at that Instagram profile and I see like, okay, like, how does this feel? And, most of the time it doesn't feel like they're being intentional. So yes, a lot of people do get not shot down, but, just, hey, like, thank you for asking me out, but I'm sorry at this time, no. So, and I don't sugarcoat. I'm like straightforward with it, but I want people to know too that it's not rejection that I want you to feel. It's simply that I don't believe that I'm the person for you. And I believe that if you want to be married, there's a person for you out there somewhere. And there are multiple options that we have, but there's one specific person that I believe is the best for me and is the best for you. And so I have faith, and I know that God is preparing me and my future husband. And people might ask, well, what if you miss him? Like, what if he slides in the DM and you're just like, no? My answer to that is, I will not miss my husband, period. Like, it's just not gonna happen because my eyes are open. I don't have my eyes closed like, oh, I don't wanna find him. I don't wanna find him. Like, no, I want to be married, okay? Like, we're not saving ourselves for no reason. We're not kissing until marriage for no reason. Like, this is being preserved. This is in me. I am being preserved for a specific purpose and reason, and for multiple reasons, but one being I want to be married and I want to honor my future husband. And it's something that's so valuable to me that I'm willing to do what it takes now so that, when he does come along, it's just like, I waited for this. And even further than waited, it's like I honored you on my journey before I even knew you. And I feel like that's just what God is calling us into. It's not the normal thing to do. It's definitely something that people have questioned me about, like, so many times, just, like, why don't you have a boyfriend? How do you handle guys that are attracted to you or ask you out? And the answer is simple. It's just discern and use wisdom. I have gone out with guys before. I have been attracted to guys before. I have shot my shot before. And that does not mean I'm just out here like, hey, I think you're cute. Do you want to hang out? It's not even that. It's literally like, hey, do you want to hang out? Because I want to cultivate a friendship. That's it. It's not even like, you're my future husband. I've already learned my lesson with that. I've told this person that I thought he was my husband. He was not, but it went well because it was like, oh, you're not my husband. Like, this is not it. We don't have that mutual feeling. We're not going in the same direction. So it's like God will literally lead and guide our steps, and we just have to trust that he's gonna do it. And it doesn't always have to be some specific way of doing it that's always gonna work. Some people do online dating. Some people literally just go out on dates. Some people are only in the DM. There's so many different ways that people navigate their dating life these days. And for me, it's simply, I'm not dating around, but I'm simply waiting to see, like, okay, if a guy does slide in my DM, first of all, what does he look like? What is his fruit? What is his character? What does his Instagram page look like? Like, what is he displaying? What is God telling me to say in this moment? So yes, it's that serious because I'm not looking for a boyfriend. I'm looking for a husband. I'm looking for a life partner. And there's only one of those. And so I don't waste my time on multiple trying to figure out, what I like and what I don't like, because I already know what I like and what I don't like. I've dated in the past. I know what it's like. I know what it looks like. And now I've grown to know myself better. I've grown to know what matters to me the most, what I value the most. And it's a beautiful thing too, because God is not over here like, Gracelyn, like, you can't be attracted to anybody. Like, no, I'm so human. It's insane. Like, I am so much like everybody else, probably even more tempted, more tried, because this purity journey, on this journey, like, the enemy really does try to tempt you and pull you from that place. And so these are parameters and these are strategies that I have to set up in order to protect my heart, because the Bible talks about, above all else, guard your heart. And so I'm simply guarding my heart. And I feel like people have been like, you're not gonna get a husband because you're not dating. No, and I reject that, because that's not true. And the way that I choose to do life, the way I choose to do it, I believe is a way that God is telling me to do it. And there will be a time that comes where there will be, maybe prospects in my life. I'm like, okay, maybe this could be a husband. Maybe that could be my husband. And I'm kind of questioning. And I give myself that opportunity to say, okay, well, this is more in the direction of what I'm looking for in a leader, as the leader of my home. These are the qualities here that I appreciate, and I will take it a step further if I feel like it's necessary. But if it's not necessary, there's no next step, because there's no point. And there's just too there's just too much valuable time that we have to be wasting on, is this person it? Is this person it? Is that it? Is that it? We got one spouse, okay? So I don't believe that God is just like, you have to go figure out who it is. Like, you have to go out into the world and just find the person. Now, I believe that men pursue women. That's the way that it's supposed to go. So like, I'm especially not supposed to be out here like, ooh, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? I got work to do. I'm working, okay? I'm in my garden. I got my gardening tools. Now I might look up every now and then, but like, I'm digging up soil. I'm getting rooted in the Lord. I want my roots to run so deep that generations on top of generations coming after me, they don't fail. They don't have the same struggles that I struggled with. Like, it's so much deeper than just I don't date. It's like, this thing is for life. Like, the person that you marry, it could literally determine your future. Like, it shapes the type of person that you're going to become and all of that. And so I'm not going to spend time at a bunch of different coffee shops and tea shops trying to figure out if this is it or not. I'm chilling, number one, and I'm content, and I am very, very happy, and I do want to be married. I have a strong desire in my heart to be married, but even more than that, like, I want to know Jesus. And that's not some type of religious kind of mindset, because I do talk to guys. There are times when I'm talking to a guy and I just don't share it publicly, because to me, like I explained, I'm not posting you, I'm not talking about you publicly if you don't even have potential to be my husband. But until that time, there are going to be no guys posted, because let me tell you a quick story. So this blesses me so much, and this is like an actual miracle that I believe took place in my life. So there was a guy that I actually reached out to first because I was interested, and I just thought, hey, let me see if he wants to talk further, or like, so I just encouraged his heart, and he said, thank you so much. And from there, like, we just started talking more. I literally was like, God, should I reach out? And God was like, sure. So I literally spoke something to him that I felt like he needed, and it turned out he did. And so with that, I sent the message, and it turned into us talking multiple times a night. Well, not a night, but like multiple times. What's it called? During the day, at night, morning, noon, and night type stuff. So like, we were talking. And we were only talking like that because I felt like he had the potential to be my future husband. And so there came a point where I asked him, because it kind of started getting like more serious, because we started asking each other deep questions. And I asked him, what are your intentions with me? And he's like, well, I want to see if you're my wife. And I was like, well, thank you so much for being so open. And we had a conversation about just praying about it. And I told him, thank you for being so intentional and so like a gentleman, and approaching me and responding to me in a way that is so godly and gentle and loving. And I asked God, like, God, if this is my husband, please show me. And I just wanted to know, because like I said, I don't like to waste my time. And so I literally went to bed that night that I prayed, and I had a dream that he was not my husband. And in the dream, I can't really remember all the details of it, but I just remember that he was walking with a different girl. I don't know why, but we were in Chick-fil-A. But like, anyway, he was walking out the door with a different girl. And I was just kind of standing on the other side of Chick-fil-A, like just watching. And it was like, oh wow, okay, God. And so I woke up and I was just like so happy that I knew, because I just knew that God was just showing me that ain't it. Like, even though he has potential, he checks these boxes and, all of that, God sent me a sign like that he wasn't my husband. So when people say that I'm going to miss out on my husband because I don't date, I'm like, that's so not true, because literally the Holy Spirit helps us along the way. And so I have absolutely no doubt that God is going to send my husband the way that he needs to be sent without me like, ooh, is that him? Ooh, is that him? I can simply just be and I can chill. I think this dating world, people try to push it, people try to force it upon you, and they're like, you'll never get a husband, you'll never get a spouse if you don't date around, if you don't, go and fish for options. And I just disagree with that. Now it does work for some people, it just doesn't work for me. It hasn't worked for me, and this is just the way that I choose to do things. And I'm so glad for the wisdom that the Lord has given me, because this was not like the life that I lived before. I was just out here. The way that God has protected me from so many different things, it has been insane. I literally could have been pregnant with probably 3 kids by now, and that's not to bash anybody, but that's just to say that the Lord has kept me. Like he has kept me, and I believe that he's doing the same for you as you continue to ask God questions, ask him what direction you're supposed to go in, pray about everything. Don't stop praying. Like, pray, okay? And so yeah, it turns out that guy, he now has a girlfriend, and I can just see, I could just see that they're gonna get married. I could literally just see it. And I'm so happy for him. And it's just, we don't talk anymore, but I just look at the relationship and I'm like, wow, God, if I were to continue to pursue a relationship, or we weren't in a relationship, but if I were to continue, trying to figure out if this was it instead of just praying, then I could have been with somebody else's husband. And so God just works in mysterious ways, because it's not always like, okay, somebody's going to miss out on their husband because you're with them. However, I want to be so intentional with my lifestyle that I'm actually allowing God to speed things up the way that he wants to, and to allow them to go at the pace that he wants to go. And I'm not blocking somebody else's blessings. And so I would have hated to be in the way of that girl's blessing because of my emotions, or because I just want to be married so much and I can make this work because he checks off all the boxes. Like, no. I mean, he checked off many, many boxes, but that did not mean that he was my husband. I literally had to pray. And I'm just so grateful, because that's literally like my life. That's just how God works. And it can be your life too, we don't have to waste time. We don't have to wonder. We can just be. We could just live your best life and work and enjoy work. Yes, I want him to come. I desire him to actually be here now so that we can start cultivating friendship and relationship. But, since he's not in my life, or since a relationship is not being cultivated right now, then I'm cool with that, because I've asked God, I've spoken my desires to God. And I just want to share this with transparency, because I believe that we all have access to this type of lifestyle. It's just like, are you gonna do it? Are you gonna keep worrying about where's my spouse, or are you actually just gonna pray about, what you need to be doing in this season of your life and where God wants you planted? If you're blocking somebody's blessing, or if you are the blessing that somebody needs, we just have to take every single step in intention, with intentionality, and understand that God does have a plan. So to answer all the questions, I don't date around. I would date my future husband if this guy had potential. I do talk to guys sometimes, quote unquote talk, because what does that really mean? But I get to know guys. There is a certain type of person that I'm looking for. There's a certain type of establishment that I'm looking for. And I'm not looking for perfection. It's just let's be reasonable. Let's be open. Yes, I do flirt sometimes, maybe intentionally or unintentionally, but let's just be, man. That's just my bottom line. Let's just be and not try to force things, but yeah, just be and ask God for wisdom, ask him for discernment. So I do want to reiterate that men are pursuers, okay? So this video was pretty much from a woman perspective, how we're supposed to just tend to our gardens, let our roots run deep so that we can be the helpmeet to our husband, you know, cultivate your lifestyle with God, all of those things. The men, yes, you should also be working, you know, praying, but you're also the pursuer. So I pray that this didn't scare you off, like, oh yeah, like let me just work and then she'll come or whatever. No, like go find her, like go find your good thing. I'm waiting, okay? I'm waiting to be found. So it's literally not like, I'm not really talking to the guys as much as I am the ladies, but I'm not asking the guys to go out and date around either. I'm asking you to use wisdom. I'm asking you to ask the Lord, what direction should I go in? What places should I go? You know, what DMs should I be in? Like all of those things, because a lot of y'all are attracting the wrong women. And that's a whole different story for a different day. But if you're a man of God, there is a type of category that you should be in. So if you're attracting a woman that is clubbing and just like, okay, no judgment, I'm just using this as an example. She's clubbing, but you want a wife, okay? You want a wife. Maybe clubbing is her guilty pleasure. Could be. But if you want a wife, you probably shouldn't be going to clubs. You probably shouldn't be looking at girls' Instagrams that are wearing bikinis and like have their everything just out. Like if you're looking for a certain woman, you should go to certain places to look for that certain woman, and you should also pray for that certain woman. And it's not gonna look perfect. It's not gonna be perfect. Nobody is perfect. I'm not better than the person going to the club. Trust me. Like I have my things too. But I am saying that if you're looking for a specific type of person, men, pray for that type of person, because we're still looking to be pursued, and our jobs are to tend to our garden and you come and find us. And so we're just looking to be found. And I'm so sorry for the women that have like where you felt rejected, where you felt like you tried to pursue and everybody shot you down. There's a whole world out there of like different stories of guys, and or just like the women are being so forward that it's just so unattractive. Like I am so sorry on behalf of a woman that you've had those experiences, but I want to encourage you not to give up. And you do have a wife. She is out there for you. And ask God, seek the Lord, and He will send you in the direction that you're supposed to go. So I wanted to make that very clear. If there are any more questions that you have, let me know. Did I address everything? The no kissing until marriage, you guys pretty much know, you know, why I don't put myself in tempting positions like that. At least I try not to. And so yeah, I think that's kind of it. But if y'all have a cousin or a brother, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Do not be all up in my DM. So I don't overthink it. I don't think you should either. I think this video was pretty self-explanatory, but that's just how I live my life. And it's going pretty well. It's going pretty well. So pray for your girl, because a husband would be nice, but we trying to chill, you know, we just trying to pace ourselves. But I am human. I love Jesus, and I simply try to live in God's will for my life. And I believe that you should ask Him what His will for your life looks, and if you should alter anything or tweak anything about your lifestyle, and that's what it's all about. So that's literally life. But I love you guys so much. I hope this video cleared the air on the whole dating situation with Gracelyn Sorrell. But I love you guys, and yeah, talk to you soon.